Blake Lively is officially stepping back into the Hollywood spotlight, and this comeback might be her boldest move yet. After nearly a year of courtroom drama, messy headlines, and one of the most public celebrity feuds in recent memory, the It Ends With Us star is returning with a brand new movie, and let's be honest, the timing is wild. Lionsgate has confirmed that Blake will headline and produce a new romantic comedy titled The Survival List, marking her first major acting role since her bitter legal battle with Justin Baldoni began dominating headlines. And while Hollywood loves a comeback story, this one feels different. It's not just about a new project, it's about resilience, reputation, and whether an actress can rebuild her professional image while locked in a very public war with a former co-star. So what exactly is this new film? The premise is actually kind of juicy. Blake plays Annie, a sophisticated, highbrow reality TV producer who suddenly finds herself saddled with a project she doesn't want. Against her wishes, she's assigned to produce a new reality show led by a so-called survival expert named Chopper Lane. But here's where it gets interesting. When Annie and Chopper end up shipwrecked on a deserted island, she quickly discovers that this so-called survival guru is actually a total fraud. He has no idea what he's doing. Suddenly, Blake's character is thrust into the role of leader, forced to figure out how to keep them both alive while navigating the chaos. And, of course, as they struggle to survive, sparks begin to fly between the mismatched duo. A little bit of survival thriller, a little bit of rom-com, and a lot of Blake Lively charm. The film sounds tailor-made to keep audiences entertained. The film will be produced by Mark Platt, the powerhouse behind hits like La La Land and Wicked. That alone tells you this isn't just some small indie project. It's got Hollywood heavyweight backing. The screenplay is by Tom Malia, and while the role of Chopper Lane hasn't been cast yet, speculation is already swirling online. Will the studio go with a big-name actor opposite Blake to ensure box office buzz, or will they take a risk on a fresh face? Either way, the project feels like a deliberate statement. Blake isn't dipping her toes back into acting. She's diving headfirst into a starring role that also gives her creative control as a producer. That's a power move, especially considering everything she's been dealing with behind the scenes. Because let's be real, this movie isn't happening in a vacuum. It's happening against the backdrop of one of the ugliest celebrity disputes of the past year. To understand just how high the stakes are, let's rewind. Back in December 2024, Blake filed a California Civil Rights Department complaint against Justin Baldoni, her It Ends With Us co-star and director. She accused him of sexual harassment, unwanted advances, and creating a hostile work environment on set. And when she pushed back, she claimed he retaliated with what she described as a coordinated smear campaign designed to damage her reputation. Heavy stuff, to say the least. Baldoni, for his part, denied all allegations and went on the attack. He filed a staggering $400 million countersuit, not just against Blake, but also against her husband Ryan Reynolds and even the New York Times, which had reported extensively on the feud. His lawsuits accused them of defamation and claimed they were conspiring to ruin his career. It was an aggressive legal strategy, but earlier this year, a federal judge dismissed his countersuits, ruling that his claims didn't hold up. That was a significant blow to Baldoni, but it didn't make Blake's path any easier. Her lawsuit is still ongoing, with a trial scheduled for March 2026. That means this feud isn't going away anytime soon. Now, in the meantime, Blake hasn't completely disappeared from the screen. Earlier this year, she reprised her role as the iconic Emily Nelson in Another Simple Favor, the sequel to the 2018 hit film she starred in with Anna Kendrick. That sequel was filmed in Italy before It Ends With Us was released and before the full storm of allegations came to light. At the premiere, Blake spoke about how much she loved the role, calling Emily her favorite character she's ever played. And fans agreed. Seeing her back as the stylish, mysterious Emily was a reminder of just how magnetic she can be on screen. But Another Simple Favor was a continuation, a return to something familiar. The Survival List, by contrast, feels like the start of a new chapter, one that comes with its own risks and rewards. And, unsurprisingly, the announcement stirred up the internet. Supporters celebrated Blake's resilience, praising her for refusing to let legal drama derail her career. Comments like, "You go, girl," flooded social media, with fans applauding her decision to keep working and not hide from the spotlight. But, of course, critics, especially fans of Baldoni, had their say too. Some mocked her, suggesting that directors will regret working with her, while others predicted that her rumored falling out with former friend Taylor Swift means the movie won't feature any Swift songs on its soundtrack. The internet can be brutal, and in Blake's case, every career move is being scrutinized not just for what it is, but for what it says about her ongoing battle with Baldoni. Now, let's break down the timeline of this feud a little more because it really does read like a Hollywood drama. After Blake filed her complaint in December 2024, the New York Times published a bombshell article the very next day. The piece included alleged messages from Baldoni's team that seemed to show a coordinated effort to smear her reputation. Suddenly, this wasn't just a behind-the-scenes dispute. It was front-page news. The fallout was swift. Baldoni's talent agency, WME, dropped him, and colleagues began distancing themselves. Meanwhile, Blake received public support from It Ends With Us author Colleen Hoover, her co-star Jenny Slate, and even her Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars America Ferrera, Alexis Bledged, and Amber Tamblyn. Having that kind of solidarity mattered, especially when the narrative in the media was so divided. But the legal back and forth didn't stop there. Baldoni and his team went on to file a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times, accusing the paper of libel and false reporting. The Times fired back, saying their story was accurate, well-documented, and meticulously reported. They vowed to fight the lawsuit, calling it baseless. Meanwhile, Blake doubled down by filing her own federal lawsuit, expanding her claims against Baldoni and his associates. By this point, the legal war had spun into multiple directions, with countersuits, defamation claims, and even third parties getting dragged in. At one point, another It Ends With Us actress, Isabella Ferrer, accused Baldoni of harassing her with subpoenas as part of his strategy to fight Blake's case. This wasn't just a two-person feud anymore. It had become a sprawling web of lawsuits, motions, and bitter accusations. And then came Blake's deposition in July 2025, which pulled back the curtain even more. In a nearly 300-page testimony, she told Baldoni's attorney that the smear campaign against her didn't feel like it had ended. She directly accused his legal team and associates of being part of the campaign, saying that the lawsuits and media statements felt like retaliation. Her reps later released a statement saying there was overwhelming evidence of a coordinated smear campaign led by Baldoni's camp. Baldoni's side, of course, denied it. But again, from where I'm sitting, it's clear this feud has gone beyond normal Hollywood disagreements. This isn't just about clashing personalities or creative differences. This is personal. This is reputational. And it's playing out in both the courtroom and the public eye. And here's the thing. In Hollywood, perception is everything. When audiences think of Blake Lively right now, they don't just think of Serena van der Woodsen from Gossip Girl or Emily Nelson from A Simple Favor. They also think of courtrooms, lawsuits, and bitter disputes. That's why The Survivalist is such a crucial project for her. It's not just another job. It's an opportunity to shift the narrative. By attaching herself to a fun, adventurous romantic comedy, she's reminding people that she's first and foremost an actress. She's reclaiming control over how audiences see her. And by stepping in as a producer, she's ensuring that she has more say over the project, its marketing, and its overall image. That's not just smart, that's necessary. Of course, the big question is, will audiences embrace this new movie, or will the legal drama overshadow everything? On one hand, Blake has a loyal fan base and plenty of industry support. On the other hand, critics are already framing her career moves through the lens of her feud with Baldoni. And let's not forget, that trial in 2026 is looming. As much as she might want to focus on acting, the headlines aren't going to let her escape the legal battle. Personally, I think Blake has the resilience and the star power to pull through. She's been in the industry long enough to know how to navigate scandals. But at the same time, this feud is unlike anything she's faced before. What's undeniable is that The Survivalist marks a turning point. If the movie succeeds, it could be the project that proves Blake Lively can weather the storm both in court and in Hollywood. If it flops, critics will be quick to point fingers, saying the drama followed her onto the set. Either way, the stakes are high, and honestly, that's what makes this so fascinating to watch. So, as Blake Lively gears up to film her first project since the It Ends With Us scandal, the question isn't just whether the movie will be good, it's whether this will be the role that redefines her career or whether the shadow of her legal feud with Justin Baldoni will continue to dominate the conversation. For now, all we can do is wait and watch. But one thing's for sure, in Hollywood, survival isn't just a movie plot, it's the name of the game.